Hey guys, so as you can tell by the title, I'm sorry. Um, I really am, and I'm sure you guys are wondering, John, what are you sorry about? Apart from being fat, ugly, and producing bad content, what could I possibly add on to that? Last night, I watched Dragon Ball Evolution, and I understand if you want to unsubscribe right there. Uh, I was not in my right mind. I said, let me just give it a chance after, I don't know, all the years I hadn't seen it. I saw someone talking about a YouTube channel where like the four guys were watching it, and it was free on YouTube. You can go watch it right now if you want to torture yourself. And I did. I watched it, and I know a lot of you are probably going to say, "Oh, well, if you enjoyed it, then yeah, definitely unsubscribing." Luckily, I didn't enjoy it, but the fact that I watched it, and that movie is so fucking bad. But I should have been a stronger person. I should have told myself not to. I mean, I should have said, John, just because it's free on YouTube doesn't mean you have to watch it. But I did because I, I have no excuse for my actions. And I truly feel horrible about it. Okay, I can't do this anymore. All I needed was the fake fucking tears, and it would have been a real like I'm sorry video. But it's like I'm sorry about watching Dragon Ball Evolution. Huh? Yeah, I cut myself. I'm too much of a pussy to cut my wrist, so I cut my finger instead. No, I'm kidding. No, I was at work, and yeah, it's actually a little deeper than it looks. But I was cleaning up at the tube baler, and I had the push broom, and I was moving back, and I was like kind of like putting things in a nice little pile, and I just felt slice. I don't know if I cut myself on the metal black bands that go around the bale or the cardboard itself, but I saw it and I'm like, ah, fuck. And then luckily I had a fucking face diaper in my pocket because we had to wear them on the bus. But today we don't have to wear them on the bus anymore. So, but I'm like, well, I'm just gonna use that instead. So I wrapped my finger in the mask and everything to prevent myself from bleeding all over the place. Went to the bathroom, ran in under some hot water and stuff like that to kind of start the cauterization process. And yeah, it was a lot deeper than I thought it would be. But it kind of closed, not closed, but stopped, kind of like not scabbed up either. But I had to have like a paper towel around it because down in the office we didn't have any fucking band-aids or anything in the first aid kit. So I'm like, oh well, it's not bleeding that badly, so I'll just keep it in a fucking paper towel. And that's what I did until I got home. And then I took a nap not too long, like at like 5. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking be sleeping. I'm gonna wake up and the whole thing's gonna be like covered in fucking blood because it starts to bleed when you did this or that or something. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be fucking blood all over the fucking pillows or something. No, it's fine. It's fine. Uh, no, but yeah, I just felt slice, and I looked at it. I'm like, ah, fuck. I was just trying to clean up the area. Like I said, I had gotten the pile over there, and then I was around where the bale was, and there was a bunch of like sawdust. Uh, because when the tubes go up, you dump the tubes out, and there's sawdust in the boxes because they go straight from the saw into the box. When they cut the tubes, so a lot of sawdust, and that falls to the ground and onto the machine. And then you take the power air blaster and just and get it all into the front. and then you sweep it up. But I was by the baler, I was sweeping around, and I was just kind of trying to get it all around and just slice. It's not the first time, and it's not going to be the last. I'm constantly getting cuts from the fucking boxes and stuff like that. Those boxes are no joke. They also have spiders in them a lot. Like the other day, I was folding boxes, and there goes a little spider creeping along. So, how long does the box have to sit there for a fucking spider to make it its home? Like, seriously. So, yeah. I'm just glad it stopped bleeding. Ah, it won't stop! I mean, I guess that's what I get for not wearing gloves, but I was sweeping up, so I wouldn't have been wearing gloves anyway. You know, that's something you use when you're actually working, and that's something you more use with the other baler because of the sharp objects. You're not really touching anything at the tube baler. You're taking the boxes, you're putting them on the lift, and yeah. Only when you're banding the bale up, which you really need gloves, but I never need them. Not to mention, I mean, my fucking Shrek hands and my sausage fingers, none of the gloves there fit me. They're the type of gloves, too, where you put them on and you start sweating, and then you take them off to go to the bathroom, but then you can't put them back on because there's so much fucking sweat in there that, you know, especially, like I said, sausagey fingers and giant fucking hand. There's not much I can do. I don't have $14, $15, almost $20 for a good pair of big gloves. Because when you're big and fat like me, everything's more expensive. But yeah, I got to work and I was like done at essentially 9:30. I went down there. There was a little bit of cardboard to do. I did 2 bales of tubes. There was like 10 boxes, but they didn't bring them over to the baler like they're supposed to. So I had to go over one by one to bring them over. Went back and forth, 10 fucking times. Fuck. I had to fill up the supply closet. Had to get the bags. But luckily enough, it seems like if we go in Friday, there probably won't be much to do. Apparently my roommate did like 3 things of cardboard yesterday, so which means if she does the same tomorrow, I'm really not going to have anything to do on Friday. There's not going to be any tubes. I couldn't do tubes even if I wanted to. You know, depending on how much they cut. I've only got like 3 wires left for a bale. You know, for the next bale. And now we have to wait 2 weeks or whatever for the next thing of wires to come in. And then I had to tell the boss about the fucking baler, the main one. I'm like, well, you gotta let them know to fill it up because it's just like again. So I went in Monday and there was plastic in there, and like the top layer of plastic was just fucking covered in hydraulic fluid. And it was just when you push the button to have it come down, it's just like. And then once it gets down halfway, it just almost like comes to a complete stop. You gotta turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on. Stop it, turn it off, turn it back on. And just. So I was like, yeah, you have to have them go down there and fill it up again. You know what would be great? You know, and I'm just throwing stuff out, see what sticks here. If someone would just fix the machine now. It's been 2 months since we put the work order in. Why is it still not fixed? Which just shows that no one in the fucking factory has respect for us or our boss. Because like I said before, she's not part of the factory. She's contracted by the factory. But all the other fucking machines are maintenance all the goddamn time. You see them replacing parts. You see them welding, this and that, all the fucking time. But no, not us. We have to ask for it to be maintained. We have to ask for them to come down. It's not like we own the machines. It's the factory who owns the machines. They should be going down there and maintaining them all the fucking time. But now we've gone to the point where every 2 weeks it needs to be filled with fucking hydraulic fluid because the hydraulics are giving out. I mean, like I said, we put in the work order for it to get fixed 2 months ago. 2 fucking months. If it was their people down there, that thing would be fixed by the end of the week. It's like I said, it's like telling someone to work on a cash register that doesn't work. You know, this isn't an item, a tool that we use sometimes. No, this thing's being used every fucking day. Several times a day. Like in 4 hours, I can get 8 bales done. So it is being put to use. So it's not some fucking obscure object we use once in a while. We are always using it. So the fact that we have to wait 2 months, and I'm sure it's not even going to be this month, that I'm projecting that it's going to be fixed in, let's see, we're at the end of April, pretty much. It's going to be fixed May, probably sometime next month, I'm sure. I mean, one of the guys who work there flat out said that they really don't feel like fixing things. They'd rather just slap band-aids on everything. Which, clearly that's the case. But it's like I said, if you work with something that often, it needs to be up to date. It needs to be maintenance. It needs to be looked at. It needs to make sure that it's performing at peak condition. We shouldn't have to keep putting hydraulic fluid in it every 2 weeks. Obviously, that means that this fluid is leaking out way way faster than it really should. Like I said the other day, the whole top layer of the fucking plastic was just fucking covered in hydraulic fluid. It was fucking gross. And it's got a very, if you've ever smelled hydraulic fluid, it's got a very distinct smell to it. So being that close to the baler, and then when I lifted the thing up, I saw it's got a very distinct smell. When it gets on your hands, sometimes even with soap and water, you can sit there and scrub for 5 fucking minutes, and sometimes that smell doesn't come off, and then your hands smell like hydraulic fluid for the rest of the day and day. But yeah, I was like, yeah, just make sure they know, because things fucking acting up. I mean, if they're not going to fix the goddamn thing, they can at least go down there and give it more fluid, even though they just put fluid in it 2 damn weeks ago. That's all it takes now. 2 weeks, done. The inside, they have like the white towels around there so to catch all of it, which that doesn't work. Those things are like almost soaked with fluid. I mean, it's not that hard. I understand they're busy, but like I said, those other machines are maintenance all the fucking time. When they need a part, it seems like they're getting those parts right away. Those things are constantly being worked on, constantly looked at. You know, I go in there in the mornings and we have machines shut down. There are guys in between looking up into the machine itself, fixing it. You're saying they can do that every day, but they can't fix our machines? Come the fuck on. I'm not buying that bullshit. I know they're trying to be shit peddlers, but I'm not buying that bullshit. You know, it's like the guy said, they don't want to fix it. They just want to slap band-aids on everything, and quite frankly, they just don't respect my boss. So, but yeah, cut. Went outside today, saw Venti, he's fine. Saw Meowsy today, she's fine. What else? I don't know. I also had a chance to clean this, and it's like, can't really see it very well, but the rim, you can see it's nice and clean. Like I said, I don't have to wear face diapers anymore on the bus, so I used it to, well, that one, the one that I had, I used for my finger. And then there's like a little thing of them in the locker at work. And those things are, masks are really good at cleaning out bottles, tops, and everything because of how sharp, like, the edges are. So, like, in here, you can see, even with a regular towel, it's really hard to get in there. And it doesn't get everything up, but because of the edge of the mask is sharp, you just stick it right in there and just go around and it just cleans up all that gunk, and then you just take the mask and put it right there and just kind of like spin the bottle, and gets all from the rim and all that. Now my top of the bottle is good as new. It usually gets all nasty whenever I use like the powders. Usually like the Tang one that I have, you can tell it's Tang because it's all fucking orangey. God damn, get back in focus. There we go. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not eating soy right now, so. But yeah, masks are really good for like bottle tops and everything when they get a little chunky. Now I have no use for them now because we don't have to wear them anymore on the bus. The bus has been the only place that we've had to wear them. Everywhere else, the stores and fast food restaurants and stuff like that, work. I went in one day and the sign said, "Oh yeah, we don't need to really wear masks or get temperatures taken. I mean, you can do it if you want, but you don't have to." But the bus, which only has the driver and like 4 people allowed on, had to keep wearing it. But then you have workplaces and restaurants and this and that where lots of people come in and you don't have to wear a mask anymore. It made no fucking sense. So, but I got on there and I was about to put it on. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to wear it anymore." I'm like, about fucking time. And I put it in my pocket. Actually, no, I don't think I said fucking. I think I said about goddamn time. No one likes wearing them because we all know how fucking useless they are. Not to mention the county where I live really didn't really have that many cases, so the fact that it lasted this long, it's ridiculous. But like, it's like I said to him, it's like when the whole thing started, I'm still unvaccinated. I've never had the booster, and I've been generally going out into the public since it started. Not once have I caught a sniffle from it. Not once have I lost my taste or smell from it. Not once have I gotten sick from it. Because we have a thing called, I wish I could like have a graphic up there, immune system. But I don't want to talk too much about that. So YouTube doesn't like misinformation. So. But we don't have to wear the face diapers anymore, which is great. Especially in the morning. Especially on that bus. There's this one woman, her name is Tanya. And she's in a wheelchair. She goes to dialysis. I was feeling kind of sorry for the woman, her giving up on life and essentially, but apparently she made bad choices in life or some shit. Destroyed her kidneys. She got a kidney from a 6-year-old. Now she's refusing really to go to dialysis most of the time. So she gets a kidney from a 6-year-old and she's not even taking care of it. That fucking pisses me off. The woman clearly just doesn't care anymore. And I said on the bus, I'm like, this is why euthanasia for adults or for humans should be allowed. Because this is clearly a woman who's given up. She has a kidney that was from a 6-year-old, and look what she's fucking doing with it. But yet, if we're able to put animals down against their will, Why not be able to euthanize a human who, like that, just doesn't want to live anymore, who doesn't have a good quality of life, who's in pain all the time, who has no chance of a real life anymore? Why not just say, sure? I mean, the fact that people think euthanizing humans is some kind of taboo, it's not. It shouldn't be. Some people just, and wouldn't that be a lot better than having to fucking keep cleaning up crime scenes from people taking their own lives? Because it's like, oh well, I can't just go to a doctor and have them do it themselves. You know, a woman like that clearly doesn't care about life anymore. She's clearly miserable. She clearly doesn't have a good quality of life. She clearly wants to fucking die. That's why she's not going to dialysis. You know, because that's gonna, you know, that helps her kidneys stay healthy. But I'd say in a couple months, if she doesn't really, she's gonna be dead. So when people are like that, why not just have, you know, be able to, you know, nighty night for good. The fact that doctors act like, oh god, we can't talk about that. It's fucking stupid. Some people just don't want to live. You know? And if we can force animals against their will to, you know, to be euthanized, why can't a person make a conscious decision and a choice to say, hey, I'm in pain all the time. My body is completely broken. I can't use it. I'm fucking bedbound. I'm having to go to dialysis because my fucking kidneys are bad. I'm this old. You know, I'm 60 years old, 70 years old. I'm done with life. Why can't we? And people, it's wrong. Why is it wrong? Why is it wrong? If the person outright does not have a chance at a good quality of life, it's like I said, it's either that or they take their own lives, you know, sometimes. So wouldn't it be better to give them a more humane, more respectful way of going? But hey, I'm just some crazy rambling man. I was born a rambling man. I know I have a lot of controversial, between fucking humanely euthanizing people to fucking watching Dragon Ball Evolution. That fucking, I'm watching. I'm like, everyone in that movie is fucking thirsty. Goku and Chi-Chi were fucking thirsty. Yamcha was thirsty. Bulma was thirsty. The least thirsty person was like fucking Master Roshi for once. Actually, no, the villains were not thirsty at all. But man, it's funny where you see some of those characters end up after that movie. You know, you have two of them who were shameless, having sex with each other. Obviously not real sex, but they were, you know, together in the show. You had one go on and reprise a Dragon Ball role. Goes on to become Zamasu, which is probably one of the coolest villains that they've introduced. So he goes from King Piccolo, who complete fucking destruction of what King Piccolo actually was, to the anime playing Zamasu, and like, wow, his voice is amazing. Uzaru being fucking Piccolo's servant. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Do you even Dragon Ball, bro? It's just so bad. So fucking bad. They couldn't even have the decency of making Shenron not only named Shenron. I mean, I know Shenlong is also a translation of, but they couldn't even have him look like Shenron. They just made him look like some generic fucking dragon. It's just like, here you go, he's gold. When you think Dragon Ball and Shenron, you have that very distinct look of that big, winding dragon that goes throughout the sky, and then you see its tail come down, coming out of the Dragon Balls. But no, he's just a dragon who just flew around. He like breathed on Master Roshi to bring him back to life, and it was like, oh boy, the magic Dragon Balls. but they flew up and be great if the Dragon Balls shoot up and like right in someone's face. But between that and saying that using ki or the Kamehameha was airbending, Dragon Ball: The Last Airbender. Because that's what it was. When you look at how they used ki and beams and everything, it was very airy. It wasn't like a solid plasma beam like it's supposed to be, because that's what essentially it's like plasma. It's in the anime they're essentially making tiny stars in their hand. Here it's just like, ooh, and he was all like, ah. It's like, Goku, are you really the Avatar? I mean, possibly in this movie, but Dragon Ball: The Last Airbender. Follow the story of Goku as he discovers the powers of airbending. Will he be able to defeat King Piccolo? I don't know. Goku was like, where are we now? Says we're in Ba Sing Se. I'm done now. It's been almost 30 minutes. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Alright, I'm fucking done. I'm just kidding.